Welcome to Dakar 2018. It's time to say goodbye to the sands of Peru and take to the skies as the rally winds its way up into Bolivia with some spectacular scenery along the way. However, the weather's played havoc with the action on this long stage from Arequipa to La Paz. The competitors will have earned their rest day in the Bolivian capital tomorrow.
Welcome to one of the wonders of the world. Hidden below the clouds lies the spectacular Canyon de Colca. At a depth of 3,270 meters, it's known as the second deepest canyon on the planet. It attracts visitors from around the world, making it the third most visited location of Peru. People come to witness the impressive sight, and especially the Andean condor.
Last year, after a very, very long period, we saw a total of 70 condors flying together in the canyon. One of the three main reasons that there are so many condors here is that this place is completely inaccessible to human beings. Throughout this area they can observe their prey. That's the reason why the condors live in this zone and reproduce here. In the Andean culture, which is my culture, the condor is sacred. It's a god that protects us.
A god that has become a symbol of Peru.
The medical staff of the Dakar are always on hand to keep an eye on the competitors. Peruvian rider Osvaldo Berger arrives at checkpoint 2 after a heavy crash. Now, these drivers are certainly made of sterner stuff, but it's important that they don't take risks with their health.
How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, I hurt myself in a crash and injured my leg, but I think it's okay.
In the end, Berger will get the green light from the medics, and so he can continue the adventure.
Of course he's tired. That's to be expected after a crash. But these guys are fighters. There's no problem.
It's not such a happy outcome for Jesus Puras. The Spaniard had been hoping to get his KTM back to base camp, but a ligament problem is going to spell the end of his Dakar.
I wanted to try and reach the bivouac, but I can't remain in the rally. I no longer have the strength to carry on. I can't ride my bike.
This is the medical service. I'm with competitor number 83. That's 83 at CP2. He wants to quit the rally due to a medical problem.
Roger that.
Yes, I think the ligament, we had a problem the second day, and now I think it might be broken because I have a lot of pain and in my neck and back, so I think it's the problem is that I cannot drive at all, so I think it's better to stop and that's it.
Previously, in the bikes, defending champ Sunderland was forced to abandon, but Vorkner is flying the flag for KTM.
Looks like a really crazy Dakar and everything changing so quick, so it's many long times to go.
Honda are still in the hunt with Beretta and Benavides primed for Bolivia. We're heading to high altitude, but we've prepared for it. while Yamaha's Van Beveren is hoping to fulfill a lifelong dream. It'd be great to still be overall leader on the rest day, and even better in Cordoba. A shortened stage for the bikes and quads today for security reasons, that due to poor visibility early this morning. In total, 194 kilometres of time section on the menu between Arequipa and La Paz. Well, a short night's sleep for many of the riders in Arequipa. Some of them only arrived at the bivouac late last night. And for the hardy souls of the original class, there was still plenty of work to be done on the bikes. Meanwhile, the rain making its first appearance at Dakar 2018 as the riders set off on a long link section. A total of 356 kilometres to cover before sinking their teeth into the special, and the remarkable landscapes of the Altiplano de Puno providing a dramatic backdrop. Make no mistake though, this was a tough start to the day, with the cold conditions providing a stark contrast to the heat of the Peruvian. Indeed, rally leader Adrian Van Beveren even complained of having a slight chill before the start of the day's action. The riders crossing the border into Bolivia and heading for Lake Titicaca for the start of the day's shortened special. A breathtaking setting indeed for the start of this first stage on Bolivian soil, and things are really hotting up in the bikes. There's only a minute and 14 seconds separating the top three overall: Adrian Van Beveren, Kevin Benavides and Matthias Wagner. Joan Barreda set to open the road after claiming his second stage win of the Dakar yesterday. And a traditional welcome from the local Bolivians before getting away on the stage. Yeah, a lovely ride this morning, beautiful landscapes. It was very green, which makes a change, and then we got to Lake Titicaca, which was magnificent. Well, here, as you can see, the weather changes frequently. Sometimes there's a lot of cloud cover, and because we're very high, the clouds cover the landscape and prevent us from flying our helicopters.
While the factory team riders are fast asleep, one man is still working on his roadbook. He's not just any privateer. This is Olivier Pain, third at Dakar 2014 and now a Dakar original.
I'm done with elite level sport. I wanted to celebrate the 40th edition of the Dakar.
This year he's competing with just a bike and a box.
An elite rider taking a step backwards is unprecedented, and I've always admired the warriors of the Malmoto class. I wanted to see if I could be one of them. After I signed up, it felt a bit like going into my first rally. I didn't know what to expect. The unknown scared me a little. We're all equals in terms of difficulty, and I certainly have to ride differently. My only goal is not to work on the bike during the evening, so I really have to avoid the slightest problem or crash. That can quickly make things difficult, and more importantly, reduce the amount of sleep that you get.
So far so good for the Frenchman, who lies in 41st spot overall and leads the original class.
We all have our own method. I established a checklist before leaving with everything I have to look at and check on the bike during the evening. And then, of course, there are those extra little things that you have to do based on what you've done during the day. My main goal now is to reach the finish line in Cordoba and achieve this challenge for me, my partners and supporters.
Olivier Pain, a true Dakar original. As we leave the Peruvian desert for the last time on this 40th Dakar, let's slow things down a moment and look at just how tricky the sand has been for the first 5 stages of the rally. Previously in the cars, with Dupre and Roma out of contention, a first Dakar win looked possible for Sebastian Loeb until this. So it's over. So Peugeot's 4 Lions are down to 2. When you've won the Dakar once, the only reason to come back is to win it again. But the competition is ready to pounce if one of them falters. But for now, there is nobody to touch Mr. Dakar. There are 5, 6, 7 people able to win the Dakar. Every day, little by little, they're eliminated. As the fans gather in a chilly Arequipe to wave off the Dakar 2018 field, it's au revoir to the sand and dunes and hello to the rough, fast, mountainous tracks. Stage 6 for the cars is in 2 parts, and it's clearly time for the battle to intensify. Now the cars can expect a real dip in engine power as they climb to 4,700 metres on the first part of stage 6. Also on the cards, weather that they have not expected so far on the 40th Dakar. And yes, that is snow. A very unfamiliar climatic condition for the Emirati Sheikh Khalid Al Qasimi. He stopped here on the stage, must be a technical issue, and lost over 20 minutes. The Czech Republic's most successful rally driver Martin Prokop continues to impress on his 3rd Dakar. Last year he finished 11th. Dakar 2018, he's still in the top 10, which was his goal, and again he is the highest placed driver representing the blue oval of Ford. Argentine driver Lucio Alvarez has taken a 2-year sabbatical from the Dakar, but having tasted a top 5 finish in 2012, he knows how to keep up with the pack. After earlier troubles in Peru, he is down the overall leaderboard, but looked very quick today with an 8th quickest time. In his first outing on the Dakar as a full works driver in the Toyota Gazoo Racing South Africa team, Dutchman Bernard ten Brink continues to reward the team's decision to put him in the prestigious seat. Co-driver Michel Perrin is a big part of this story. As a 3-time Dakar winner, his navigation experience will be a huge help. At this rate, they could be on target for a podium. The 2009 Dakar winner, Giniel de Villiers, is way back in the overall standings.
Very high altitude, a really beautiful stage, a very nice stage to drive. Just a bit of rain in the end, which made it quite slippery. For sure, I cannot go much quicker than we did today. So, no, all in all, a good stage for us.
Up on the Altiplano, de Villiers and teammate Nasser Al-Attiyah are still spearheading the campaign for Toyota to win the Dakar for the first time. And on this stage, the Qatari puts in a great performance, keeping the pressure on the Peugeots.
Very difficult, it's raining, altitude, and yeah, it's not easy, but okay, we try to manage.
It's been a baptism of fire for the new two-wheel drive mini buggy, but the indefatigable Finn Mikko Hirvonen keeps bouncing back from difficulties. And today he's keeping up with 3 former Dakar winners. A little bit of ditch hooking there, en route to the 4th quickest time.
I'm happy that we finally had a section where we didn't have any problem and the car was working pretty well, so interesting to see the times if we are close to the top guys, but felt really good, so I'm quite happy with that.
Despite being half an hour behind teammate and rival Peter Hansel, 2010 Dakar winner Carlos Sainz is not holding back. A provisional stage win for the Spanish rallying legend. Rally leader by more than half an hour, which is not a position Stefan Peter Hansel likes this early in the rally. By his own admission, he likes to wait in the shadows. Nonetheless, he is provisionally second quickest on the stage. It's a real change. Peru Act 1, Bolivia Act 2. High altitude, 4,700 meters. It's hard to remain focused, and the engines are struggling, and the first raindrops. In the side-by-side class, Brazilian Reinaldo Varela still commands this race from the front in his Can-Am, with another stage win as the rally continues over these spectacular snowy mountains.
Now, stage 5 of the Dakar could have been the end of the line for Yazid Al-Raji in this 40th edition of the race. The Saudi finding his mini buggy ensnared by a very unfriendly Pacific Ocean.
I am come very fast and I try to turn on the car sideway and have curve. The car is open too much, and after the water coming, and he take the car like that and he like spin the car on the right side and we stay there.
Thankfully, Al-Raji was able to count on the help of his mini X-Ray teammate Boris Garafulik, who arrived in the nick of time. Like on several bivouacs in Peru, children from neighbouring towns and villages have been invited to come and visit the Dakar. In Arequipa, they received a special treat when they came to get a closer look at the Toyota Overdrive stand. Their VIP host was 2-time Dakar winner Nasser Al-Attiyah. Moments that will live long in the memory of these young Peruvians. Now time to meet another of this year's Dakar participants who qualified through the Dakar Challenge. Henry de Klerk secured his entry during the Toyota Botswana Rally. Created in 2012, the Dakar Challenge gives competitors who dream of doing the Dakar the chance to qualify in a series of races all around the world. And so far so good for the South African. After 5 stages, de Klerk is the highest ranked rookie in the car class. He's enjoying a fine 34th spot overall.
Offering the ultimate